We are now in Chapter 3, and this is Video B. We are talking about relational hypotheses. A correlational hypothesis might be young women under 35 purchase fewer units of our product than women who are older than 35. There's a relationship between age and purchase. A causal would be an increase in family income leads to an increase in the percentage of income saved. Another correlational, the number of suits sold varies directly with the level of the business cycle. A causal one would be loyalty to a grocery store increases the probability of purchasing that store's private brand products. So a relational hypothesis is a statement about the relationship between two variables with respect to some case. Relational hypotheses may be correlational or explanatory. A correlational hypothesis is a statement indicating that variables occur together in some specified manner without implying that one causes the other. A causal hypothesis is a statement that describes a relationship between two variables in which one variable leads to a specified effect on the other variable. This slide presents the function served by the hypothesis. To guide the direction of the study, to identify relevant facts, to suggest the most appropriate research design, and to provide a framework for organizing resulting conclusions. The conditions for developing a strong hypothesis are more fully developed in Exhibit 3.4. A strong hypothesis is adequate. It's testable. It's better than the other competing hypotheses. Theory within research. What is the difference between theories and hypotheses? Theories tend to be complex, abstract, and involve multiple variables. Hypotheses tend to be simple, limited variable statements involving concrete instances. A theory is a set of systematically interrelated concepts, definitions, and propositions that are advanced to explain or predict phenomena. To the degree that our theories are sound and fit the situation, we are successful in our explanations and predictions. The product life cycle, shown in Exhibit 3-5, is an example of a theory. This theory being that a product is introduced into the marketplace. When people become aware of it, the sales grow, revenue increases during the growth stage. At some point, the market is saturated, meaning that people who have an interest in buying this have already purchased it, and that is when the brand reaches maturity, or the product does. And then it goes into a decline stage, where people either move on to other brands or they no longer are in need of or in the market for purchasing this product. The role of reasoning. Business models are developed through the use of inductive and deductive reasoning. As illustrated in the exhibit here, a business model may originate from empirical observations about market behavior based on research facts and relationships among variables. Inductive reasoning allows the modeler to draw conclusions from facts or evidence in planning the dynamics of the model. The modeler may also use existing theory, managerial experience, or judgment, or facts. A model is a representation of a system constructed to study some aspect of that system or the system as a whole. Models versus theories. A model's role is to represent or describe. A theory's role is to explain. Models in business research may be descriptive, predictive, or normative. Descriptive models are used for complex systems because they allow for the visualization of numerous variables and relationships. Predictive models forecast future events and facilitate business planning. Normative models are used for control because they indicate necessary actions. Exhibit 3.6, shown in the slide, is a distribution network model called maximum flow model used in management science. In this example, a European manufacturer of automobiles needs an increased flow of shipping to its Los Angeles distribution center to meet the demand. However, the primary distribution channel is saturated and alternatives must be sought. Models allow researchers to specify hypotheses that characterize present or future conditions. The effect of advertising on consumer awareness or intention to purchase, brand switching behavior, and employee training program or other aspects of business are represented by this. Good business research is based on sound reasoning because reasoning is essential for producing scientific results. This slide introduces the scientific method and its essential tenets. The scientific method guides our approach to problem solving. An important term in the list is empirical. Empirical testing denotes observations and propositions based on sensory experiences and/or derived from such experience by methods of inductive logic, including mathematics and statistics. Researchers using this approach attempt to describe, explain, and make predictions by relying on information gained through observation. The scientific method is described as a puzzle-solving activity. The scientific method is important because it represents a process by which all alternative explanations are eliminated to come to the conclusion. It's also important because it needs to be replicated so that other people can verify the existence of the facts or the findings of the original experiment. Steps followed by business researchers to approach a problem are presented in this slide. You encounter a problem in your business. You state or articulate what those problems are. You propose hypotheses to study these. You deduce the outcomes. You formulate other rival hypotheses, and this is part of the scientific method. You devise and conduct empirical tests, and then you draw conclusions about whether your hypothesis is supported or whether alternative hypotheses might in fact be true. This ad from Sinovate reinforces the notion that researchers must be curious. Students can see why Sinovate website, or you can see the website at sinovate.com. Campaign associates important discoveries in research to a common trait of entrepreneurs, which is curiosity. Where would we be without curiosity? Sound reasoning. There are types of discourse here. 4 types here. Exposition consists of statements that describe without attempting to explain. Argument allows us to explain, interpret, defend, challenge, and explore meaning. There are 2 types of argument. There's deduction and induction. Deduction is a form of reasoning in which the conclusion must necessarily follow from the premises given. Induction is a form of reasoning that draws conclusion from one or more particular facts or pieces of evidence. Deductive reasoning here. Inner-city household interviewing is especially difficult and expensive. This survey involves substantial inner-city household interviewing. The interviewing in this survey will be especially difficult and expensive. Inductive reasoning. Why didn't sales increase during our promotional event? Regional retailers did not have sufficient stock to fill customer requests during the promotional period. A strike by employees prevented stock from arriving in time for promotion to be effective. A hurricane closed retail outlets in the region for 10 days during the promotion. So this slide provides an example of an inductive argument of why sales didn't increase during the promotion. Induction and deduction can be used together in research reasoning. Induction occurs when we observe fact and ask, why is this? In answer to this question, we advance a tentative explanation or hypothesis. The hypothesis is plausible if it explains the event or condition that has prompted this question. Deduction is the process by which we test whether the hypothesis is capable of explaining the fact. And here's the process. Hypothesis, Tracy is lazy. Fact 1, Tracy has a poor performance record, is regularly late to work, makes fewer calls per day than the average salesperson. Induction would be, has a poor performance record, why? Then the answer being because she's lazy. The deduction would be, the hypothesis is she's lazy, and you would deduce that laziness results in excessive tardiness, and it results in fewer customer calls per day. Some key terms in this chapter are mentioned here. That is the end of chapter 3.